Friends, it is that time again to play our favorite game, the options game, this round with a first-time contestant, a Rolls Royce. That is the 2015 Rolls Royce Ghost Extended Wheelbase 2. Now, before we dive into the base price, I feel it important to point out some of the bits that are fitted as standard. Come on over. First off, she's got a head-up display. Second, she has an 8-speed transmission that is guided by satellites. Third, and far more important than any technology, the lovely and always gracious spirit of ecstasy. For all this high-tech pageantry, you need to write a check to the fine folks at Goodwood for $319,400. So I'll take a breath. You guys ready to press on? Now let's talk options. Now people, this is a Rolls Royce, which means you can have it finished any way you want. For example, if you want the finish to be the color of the walls of your first girlfriend's bedroom, you can have it. The privilege will cost you $9,925. In this case, this is sapphire black metallic. Looks like blue to me. Now, let's move on to the business end of this car. Not here, not here, but here. Now, how many Mercedes, Audis have we driven with massage seats? This is really no different. It's just in this specific car you see sitting here, the massage seats are fitted only to the rear, and that will cost you $1,375. Now, we've looked at a lot of Bentleys on the show, we've looked at other Rolls Royces on the show, and British cars in particular, they do seat piping kind of to an art. Here, it's somewhat understated, rather elegant. That seat piping will cost you, are you ready for this? $3,375. Now, I want to point something else out here. Lamb's wool mats. A bit of an admission here. When we first got the car, I actually kicked the shoes off, sat in the back. It may or may not have been strangely arousing, but I digress. So, how many Rolls Royces have you seen that do not have picnic tables? None, right? Well, most of them have this veneer here. Well, this one, the veneer matches on the back of the seat. For that privilege, you will pay $3,150. While we're back here, notice the headliner. It's finished in leather, and then the A, B, and C pillar are also finished in leather. That is called the Leather Headlining Plus Extended Leather Package, and that will cost you $2,950. I also want to point something out here, because you got kind of a tough choice. This is fitted with the moonroof, which is standard, but notice when you get the moonroof, you can't have the starlight. Which one would you want? Actually, let me know in the comments below. Let's press on. Now, let's look at the front, because you got to deal with the driver. In the walk-around film here, we pointed out the steering wheel, how the leather is not the usual black. You know, it's kind of like for the unwashed masses. This one is finished in the blue to match the top of the dash, which is very, very cool, but it also will cost you, are you ready for this? $1,425. So, the next option is not here, believe it or not. We're gonna have to go back to the valet area. Follow me. So most people would call this a trunk, at least here in the new country we call it a trunk. To have the boot finished with this carpeting, which you just gotta stand back and look at this. This is really elegant, and people were talking about a trunk. To have this finished in the carpeting, $1,375. But to complement that, you get this chrome parcel plate. I want to point out that it's fitted as standard and extends all the way down to the trunk mat. This, combined with the carpet finish, the piping around the trunk mat, and the black sapphire paint on the hinges, makes you step back and say, wouldn't be so bad to be the valet. Now, if you've been paying attention, that is a total of 6 options, excluding the paint finish, that come to $54,250. Put another way, more than the entire base price of the GLA 45 we just drove. But wait, there's more. There's still that nagging outstanding bill from your local tax authority. Remember when we said that this wasn't the business end of the Rolls Royce? Well, the government disagrees. Unsurprisingly, they charge you a gas guzzler tax of $2,100. There's still yet another fee, this time from Rolls Royce. Remember we said this was a bespoke built car? Well, there is a $3,400 charge to specify the finish and fittings. Now that brings us to a total price of $405,225. Let's take another breath. Let's step back. And we have to remember something. This really isn't an options list here. It's not really even an options game when it comes to a Rolls Royce. Because really, a Rolls Royce, it's only limited by your imagination. So asking to see an options list for a Rolls Royce is like asking, how long is a piece of string? So here's the script. Click here to subscribe, click here to watch one of our 350 other episodes, and most importantly, share us with your friends. You're already wasting half your life on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. MotoManTV, all one word. I don't care who you share us with. Share us with your enemies. Just give the gift of MotoMan.